felt called to share this. So when I was at yoga, I asked the yoga owner if I could share with the class and ask if anybody wanted to come for Reiki sessions, because I wanted to practice. And so that's what I did. I just opened it up and ended up with probably 20 to 40 people coming. And so I'm learning, going through Reiki 1, Reiki 2, Reiki 3, Reiki 4, so that I could then share this and hopefully have more people want to learn, so that more people could then become part of like a peace movement and bringing people more into balance, whoever wanted to be a part of that.
Wow, yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I have such an interest in that more like holistic Eastern type of medicine. I know that I've personally also dealt with health issues that have only been truly resolved through acupuncture or an Ayurvedic doctor as opposed to a Western medicine doctor.
And I believe that everything is love-based or fear-based, and I'm going to pick love, right? Yeah. So having the rose quartz is the master crystal as far as I'm concerned. Right. Like, best wishes.
Yeah, everyone's on their own journey.
That's exactly. We can't change anybody else, in fact, and we don't even heal other people. We hold the sacred space, and then they step into healing.
Yeah.
That we individually need a team to hold us. Like, we need different people who hit us in different ways to help us move through life the way that we want to move through life.
For many years, and last year I was in Florida visiting my grandparents and very concerned with me, make sure I want to be healthy and happy at all times. And my grandfather said something very similar of, every night before you go to bed, repeat these things. It was like a little mantra about, I am healthy, I am healed, like I am functioning normally. And he said to repeat it before I go to bed and when I wake up. And I had the same exact thoughts of, okay, Grandpa, like, that's sweet of you to want to suggest that, like, sure. But he was so looking at me straight in the eyes, and I could tell he was really, really serious about it. He had told me an anecdote about him kind of saying that to my grandmother and giving her that wisdom, and it healed her. And so I was like, okay, these are my grandparents, I'm here, I'll try it. And I have noticed that when I really change my mindset about my health, it changes everything. Like, my body gets more aligned, and it's been really cool to kind of discover that on my own. It was really frustrating for so many years to see all these doctors and just be told the same things, and this medicine will work, or you're gonna need to go on this diet. And not once was I asked about my mindset until I actually saw an Ayurveda doctor. Mm-hmm. She opened up my eyes and made me feel heard. She understood everything that I was saying, and it was really cool in that moment at my grandparents' house to kind of see that transition the week after that I left, and then now continuing on with my own journey of healing. So it's true, it's real, and like you saying that story, I know that that's real.
Well, I love that your grandfather, right, who shares these mantras. Now, mantras are words, and words have energy and power, right? And I think very few of us think about what we're saying, that it has radiating effects, and people be like, oh my God, I'm so stupid, I blah, 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 right? And you're like, wait a minute, like, time out, what? How many times do you say I'm so stupid, or I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, right? Because people just automatically are apologizing for nothing that needs to be apologized for, or your words are like putting money in the bank, so it's really putting them right into your body. So everything you say, being mindful of it. And here your grandfather so sweetly says to you, Zoe, think about saying, I am, and I am are two of the most powerful words that we have, because whatever comes after it is going in, right? And so I am healed, I am healthy, I am enough, I am worthy, I am loved. Changes our whole being. And we don't really go like, just like you did, just like I did, like, yeah, right. Okay.
Sure.
Right. But then playing with it, trying it, like seeing it, even in front of the mirror, one of my classes I had, we had to say, right?
Yes,
we had to say, I love you to yourself.
You're taking the words right out of my mouth.
Right. I was in a class of 40 people, and she's like, okay, we're putting this on pause. Everybody get up. You have 2 minutes to go in the bathroom. Everybody say, I love you. Then come back. We're going to finish class. And I was like, oh, this is so easy. Like, please, this is super easy. And I went in front of the mirror, and I couldn't do it. I was like, what's going on? What's going on? And I thought, I can do this. I say I love you to everybody I talk to. And but to myself, right? And so it's like that journey, and eventually I could hear her yelling, come back, and I was like, oh my God, I hadn't even said, like, my throat was literally tight, and it got much easier with time, but it's practice, right? But who even knew? I didn't even know to do that to help step into the worthiness component, to love ourselves first, because if you can't do that for you, how can you possibly do it at the way you want to for others?
Totally. You just touched on something that I was going to share. This was at some point last year when I was like going through a little bit of a rougher time, and I stumbled upon a video about mindset and the present tense and telling yourself all these things. And it was like a list of a couple things: looking in the mirror, telling yourself that I love you, and waking up in the morning, I'm successful, I'm going to have an amazing day, I'm worthy, I'm healthy, I'm abundant, all of these things. And I was just like, you know what? I'll try it. Why not? Like, I had been doing yoga at this point. I'd learned about sankalpas when you're doing yoga nidra. I was like, I will just do this. And seeing how my days change so drastically when you wake up, today is going to be an amazing day. I am an awesome person. I have so much love and positivity for this world, and everything that I'm putting out there is coming right back to me. Like, it really, really does change everything. And I understand the discomfort of hearing someone tell you to do something like that, and you're like, that's weird, like that doesn't work. But every single morning, I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. I look in the mirror, I tell myself how amazing I am, how I'm gonna conquer this day, and it has just changed my life drastically. So it's cool to hear you talk about that and see how it's kind of unfolded, because I'm really just trying to implement this in my everyday life, and it's really been an essential part of living, honestly.
I love that you're weaving that in. I mean, I think the mantras, paying attention, consciousness, and even thanking your body first thing in the morning when you wake up before you get out of bed. And I thank the day. Like, who knows? What is it? Is there going to be another day? Is there going to be, like, we don't know. So literally thanking my body every morning, and even at night when I go to bed, I thank the day for the day. Thank you for this day. And I mean, we get out of bed in the morning, the right leg gets out, the left leg gets out. You don't say to yourself, move this leg, move that leg. Our body is unbelievable, and the ability to heal itself, and the ability to like connect all of these things and remember forever and move forward is with gratitude, as you say, bringing gratitude into every day.
Totally. That's with the physical body too. That's something that I try to implement in my yoga practice, because we live in a society where, especially women, you're shamed for your body in so many different ways. And actually taking a scan and being like, wow, my feet walk me to where I need to be every single day. My arms can lift everything that I need to lift throughout the day. Just recognizing those small things about your physical body, you can really tap into that gratitude, which is really cool. And then kind of bringing that back to the end of the day, something that I try to do every single night while I'm lying in bed. I go through everything that I did today and said everything that I'm grateful for, everything that worked out perfectly, just kind of reminding yourself of like, wow, you did today right. Like, it worked out for you. You are doing it. You're on the right track, and just kind of giving yourself a break. Like, we are very, very hard on ourselves as humans, and it's so easy to get wrapped up in that. So it's really important to just take a step back and be like, okay, I'm doing enough. I'm cool. I'm good. And these are the things that are going well in my life. This is what I'm grateful for. And it doesn't take that much effort.
No, I love your awareness, because you're so keyed in and connected, and you're understanding how all these different components can be woven together that works for you, and then to help you move forward in your life. And as we do that, as each one of us do that, we kind of give permission for other people to do that. And we also share what's working, what's not working, but it doesn't mean that that's what works for this person or not, but they get to then know that sometimes things work and they're great. And sometimes they work today and the next day, but they don't work after that. And then you go like, what's wrong? It's not that something's wrong. We're in a different place. We're always changing, growing, evolving. So sometimes things don't stay the same that help you. You actually have to have tools that change, that grow, that evolve with you. So I love your awareness and just constantly being open to moving forward in new ways.
It's like the trial and error of what works for you, because there's totally been things that I'm like, okay, I've tried this, it's not working, but I have found many things that do work for me. So, but going back to square one of everyone's individual, your body is your own, it's not going to be the same as someone else's, your mind too, like it's really cool to kind of see this unfold, and then also like looking back on just reflecting on like my childhood and my journey through life, and how like bits and pieces have been kind of dropping hints here and there of what works for me and what doesn't. So it's cool to talk to other people about it too, because for a while I was kind of just in my head of like, okay, I'm weird, I might have thoughts that no one else has, and maybe that's that, maybe I'm an alien, who knows. But it's really been amazing to find other people that I can relate to on so many different levels.
And I think that's key, is finding your tribe, and so that you don't feel so isolated, so that you don't feel like, am I crazy? Is this really weird? Am I the only one who has experienced this? And most likely the answer is no. And as you start sharing and as you actually own your energy, you end up pulling in more people who are similar to you, because there's a like-to-like energy component, right? And so that when you become comfortable, then these people start attracting to you, and you start sharing, and you're like, oh my God, something similar to that happened with me as well.
Totally.
And it just expands that happening, and it makes you feel connected, which is what we all strive for anyway.
No, that has been a really big component of my post-grad life, is accepting who I am, what I'm into, and talking about it. And I have seen that attraction of even people that I knew. Our bonds have changed, our relationships are a lot stronger and more, I guess, deeper because of that connection. I've met so many people because it's like, it's the energy, it's there, you're meant to meet those people, you're meant to share these stories with them, and it's been something that I've noticed kind of exponentially grow since I graduated college, and I know it's gonna be a trend throughout the rest of my life, but it's really cool to see kind of just play out right in front of me.
I love that. So this is one of my favorite pieces that we have. This is Kuan Yin, and we found it in an antique store, just stumbled on it in Waltham, and the owner actually wasn't sure who it was, and I said, oh, it's Kuan Yin, goddess of compassion. And at the time I was thinking about having a holistic healing center, and I thought, well, for now we'll just put it here. And truthfully, she's not going anywhere. She has such amazing, beautiful energy. She's worn, awesome. Right? She was outside, I think she was in Indonesia somewhere. She's hand carved, all one piece of wood, and it really is, I don't know, just a sacred piece that I feel so incredibly blessed to have her energy here in our space and just holding compassion for all. Amethyst is all about balance, clearing things spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. A lot of these are clear quartz. This is one of my favorite pieces. I don't know if you can see it. It's a clear quartz, beautiful, I guess you would call it a wand or a sword, and it kind of helps cut ties from things that no longer serve. Wow. So it's a beautiful piece just to have, but it's also functional. As are all of the crystals that are here. This is a really beautiful pyrite piece that you can see is from the ocean. You see as the tide goes up from China, all the different levels there. These are fossilized woolly mammoth tusks. Yeah, there's all really different, this is another black heart from Iceland. This is one of my favorite areas of lots of different crystals.
This is a beautiful setup.
So this is where all of my essential oils and flower essences are. Based on what people need, I create custom blends or tinctures for them. So if people have anxiety or they can't sleep or different things are going on, after talking during session, I then come over here and create something and give it to them so that they can either put it on topically or sometimes certain things they can ingest. But there's lots of different options, and there's zillions of different oils that I have that I love working with and can really be individual for what people need. This is where clients come first. For each part of the session, they sit down in the chair and just talk about what's going on in their life, what's working, what's not working, where they feel stuck. And then they end up on the table where I do some hands-off and hands-on energy work. The table has a beautiful heated amethyst pad on the bottom of it, and people really kind of sink into their natural river of peace down here. Lots of shifting happens on. We have quite a few boxes of tissues here. We go through lots of different layers, but I use crystals, as you can see. Aromatherapy sprays are over here on this table that I make all of these. There are crystals in the ceiling, in the walls, and the floor because we built this space. So as we were building, it was really important for me to put in all different quartz crystals, rose quartz, clear quartz, amethyst for love, for balance, for clearing, and helping people come back into their center. So this is a really incredible, sacred room.
Wondering, do you have any plans for the future?
My next project that has been underway for a little while is called Zenathon. And it's an event that is taking place this September 22nd, 2024 in Sharon, Mass. And it is a whole day of peace. And I think of it as a peace buffet because I'm inviting lots of different presenters, probably somewhere between 35 and 40 different presenters, to come and give a little bit of their take on peace. So the mission for the day is for each one of us to gather more tools for inner peace for us. And then by the end of the day, we will all leave very different and become beacons of peace or beacons of light, and then bring this peace out to our homes, to our families, to our friends, to our neighborhoods, bring it to our workspaces, to our towns, ultimately to our states, the United States, and then literally I want this to continue to vibrate out to the world. Part of the day will people be able to pick different things that they want to try out, that maybe they've never thought about meditating, or they think they can't meditate. Lots of people are like, I can't slow my mind down. It just doesn't work for me. But here at the Zenathon, there's going to be yoga, meditation, breath work, sound bowls. There'll be music, dance, nature, tree hugging, all earthing things, and art. And we're also going to have a marketplace of about 100 to 200 local artists will be there showing and selling their wares. Also an organic food area where we'll have people who make really healthy things, and we'll have some healthy food trucks, an option for a boxed lunch, and it will be literally a whole day from 9 to 4 of peace offerings. And the goal in this 10-year plan is that eventually we'll have Zenathons happening in more than one location at a time, so that when we are holding that peace and sending peace out to the world in multiple places in the world, everybody will be doing this at the same time. So to be able to change the vibration of our world from a foundational level is like off the charts, wild. And this has been a dream of mine for years, to bring more peace to each one of us and out into the world. So I am so excited, and not even enough words really to talk about how this is going to come together in an epic way.
I guess I'm curious, do you have any advice for people that have these thoughts, they want to make something happen, kind of how you did it?
I say go for it. I mean, you just trust yourself and you learn, right? We don't know everything. This is like, for example, I've done a lot of shows in the past. So I'm an artist and I've always made different things, whether it was jewelry, aromatherapy sprays, crowns, wands, whatever it is I'm making. You bring this out, and I've invited other artists together twice a year and had shows from 10 to 35 people in my house or a rented space. And I started to see how people loved buying things and meeting the people who made this, right? And so then I started thinking about how can we change the world to a more peace-based place as opposed to this fear-based space. And I just started literally playing with ideas in my head. And I think everybody has lots of ideas and different thoughts and patterns. And what do you want to do with it? Try it, bring it out. If you need help in certain areas, I know that everybody knows certain people who maybe be able to help with marketing, maybe able to help with organizing. We all have different strengths. We don't have to do everything ourselves. And in fact, when you hold hands with other people, it makes it that much stronger. And in fact, we all have circles who we work with, right? But when you bring these circles together, everybody starts cross-pollinating, and they're like, I didn't know about that. I didn't know him. I didn't know her. And it just continues to get bigger and bigger, and it's really beautiful. So I would say go for it. Give it a whirl. Try it. Talk to some people to help you, but definitely do it.
I like the idea of everyone kind of helping each other out through this whole thing. I mean, that's what the human connection is about. We're all human beings, and it's important to kind of recognize that and to implement it. So it's very inspirational to hear you talk about this.
Thank you. We're trying to think of it at it from all different angles, and we also know that this is our first year, so that we're going to learn a lot. And maybe what we thought that this was going to go this way, and we're like, next year, let's tweak it this way. But that's how we learn, right? Yeah. It's getting in there and figuring it out and just kind of moving that way.
Mm-hmm. And it's important to recognize that too before you even kind of the event happens, to know that this is going to go as well as it can for now, but there's always room for growth and change, and you're not living if you're not growing and changing. So that's really a cool perspective to have.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's just, as you said, it is a life way, and so we're using that as part of Zen-a-thon so that we can pull in all of these beautiful energies and shift and change and grow. And as our world seems a bit chaotic now, this is a beautiful way to help you incorporate these new tools into your life so that we all can come from a more peaceful space and then bring peace to ourselves and each other.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So for someone that's interested in the Zen-a-thon, do you have any website, social media? How do they find out more information?
Thanks for asking that. Yes, we have a website. It's zenathon.org, and tickets will be available directly there. We'll have social media as well, Instagram, Zen-a-thon, and also Facebook will be Zen-a-thon as well. And so we'll be sending it out there, and then we're going to have lots of people who are helping to share about it. So if anyone wants to also learn more about it and start sharing, there's opportunities for there as well.
Awesome. Well, I'm very excited for you. I can tell you are super excited, and it's gonna be beautiful and amazing and just perfect.
Thanks. I'm thrilled to share about it. Definitely come with friends. It's gonna be epic. We want you part of it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Zoe.